Hey, hey, it's Berta J. Come on into my kitchen with me today. I want to show you how to do something really simple, and it's called roasted vegetables. Now you can use any vegetable that you want. I have chosen 4 of my favorites. Cut up broccoli, and you just cut it up into bite-sized pieces. I used baby carrots. Did you know these were really not carrots? They don't grow this way. They're just like leftover pieces from the regular carrots, and they cut them up and put them into a little carrot shaper, and we get these. But anyway, they are carrots, but they don't grow that way. And then mushrooms. When you cut up the mushrooms, I usually use baby bellas, crimini. They're little mushrooms, and I cut them into the caps into like either 3 or 4 slices, because they're mostly water. So when you cut them, you want to make sure the slices are big enough. So it's usually about that's about 1/2 inch, okay? And then I use onions. This is half of a Vidalia onion, and I cut it so that the chunks are probably about also 1/2 inch. And what we're gonna do is put it in a bowl. You're not gonna see it, but I've tried this without oil, and I don't use very much. I usually don't use oil, but on these I have to use a little bit. Just spray, like 3 or 4 little sprays, and then mix it up. You don't need a tablespoon. You need 3 or 4 tablespoons. If you spray it and then you mix them up, that's about all you need. Another video that I did is vegan chicken seasoning, which my children find very funny, which I said when I was making it. But it is very, very tasty, and I'm going to use a little bit of that on here. It's got all kinds of spices and stuff on it. I'm gonna, I won't say generously, but put some on here because you've got a lot of flavor in this. I'm gonna mix it up again. And then once you do that, you're gonna put it on a parchment lined baking sheet. Now I always say that, but it could be a cookie sheet, whatever kind of baking sheet you use. And if you notice, I'm using spoons just to keep this in shape, because when you put the parchment paper on here, a lot of times it just comes right off the roll and just sits right on the top. Pour it out. What you want to make sure you do is give everything like a flat place to land. And what I mean by that is don't have them bunched up like this, because it's not going to cook very well. So what you want to do is make sure I cut the broccoli in half, so the little pieces, little trees, and so that they can have a place to lay down flat. I cut the baby carrots the same way, and I already told you about the mushrooms and the onion. But just after I'm done, it's like a little puzzle. You want to keep putting all the pieces. They each have a place, and it's flat. So when it comes to turning it over and stirring it up, you can easily turn it over, and they each have a little place, and they will each get cooked. Okay, so that's it. So it's going to go into a 400-degree oven, and it should be for an hour. If you have a hot oven like I do, it'll probably be about 45 minutes. But it'll cook pretty quickly, and each one of them are flat, as I can see. So I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm going to put it into the oven, and then we'll be back in about 45 minutes, an hour, and I'll show you what it looks like. During that time, you want to go in halfway through. So about a half an hour in, 25 minutes in, you want to go in and turn them over, or stir them up, whichever one you want to do. But just make sure that the other side is going to get cooked as well. You don't want to just have one side cooking. So it does take a little bit of effort to roast vegetables. You can also do potatoes in here if you wanted to, but we'll be back in about an hour, okay? And I took off all the little teeny pieces, because if you don't take those out, what you're going to find out is they're going to burn up. So, because they really shrink. And I like eating these for breakfast. Eat them as a side for dinner. Can eat them on sweet potatoes or potatoes over rice. rice gravy. My rice gravy would taste good with these a little bit. Carrots never seem to quite get super soft. Now, this little guy is crispy. Well, I like crispy and crunchy. If you don't leave it in for an hour. Do 20 minutes on both sides. Okay, after you turn it over. 20 minutes, turn it over, 20 minutes. So, here you go. Roasted vegetables with my chicken seasoning. A little bit of oil, not much. You can't see it, it's not glistening like most of the ones that I see online. I just use enough to let the spices have hook to it. So that's it. Okay? See you next time. And don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment. So bye for now. See you next time.